You are directing God source energy every time you speak. Every word that comes out of your mouth is a creation. You are bringing something into form every time you speak. And here's the beautiful part. Words are spells. We cast spells on the magic of life every time we speak. How we access this, caveat, we are constantly doing this all day long. It's just the fact of if we're aware of it or if we're not. So consciously, if we understand everything exists, everything that we want, through the use of our conscious thinking, of managing and directing our own thoughts, we can mold this reality into form, the form that we desire. That's the difference between conscious and unconscious creation. People that are conscious creators, they understand how this process works and they use it to their advantage. So when we cast these word spells, there's two types. So we have inner and outer speech. The inner words, the inner spells that we're using are going to be our self-talk, aka our thoughts. We are constantly, all day long, having an inner dialogue with ourselves. We are talking internally that literally is creating and shaping our reality. Then the second piece is that outer speech. So I can have an inner dialogue going on, and then what comes out of my mouth, if I'm an unconscious creator, is usually just an extension of my inner dialogue. If you're a conscious creator, which if you're watching this, you are, we have power over the words that we speak because we understand that they create. Speech is creative. So thoughts are inner speech. The words that we use internally is what is going to mold, which could be anything, into creation. We shape it and we influence by our speech. If you've ever used affirmations in any form, especially the I am statements, you are using words to access this all-containing reality, to change your thoughts, to speak something new, a new creation into existence. Now, the I am statements are extremely powerful. I is the God power. Every time we speak, we are directing this God power. God is the only thing that exists. That creative source energy, we're just individualized expressions of that same power. So when we create, we are using God's energy. We're just directing it. We're just telling it where to go and what to do. So it's almost like gaining control over our own life. This is how you become a conscious creator, using the power of language. So when we say I, we're accessing the power of God, which is what we're always doing. And the am is the creation. So when I say I am lucky, I am beautiful, I am rich, it's a declaration. It's a creative energy. Those things, those statements I am making is a declaration, and I'm using God force energy to create that in my being. And it's only a matter of time that I see that evidence in my outside world. We're not taught the power of how language is used to create our own reality. That changes for you now. Conscious language is the second component of my Self-Code Academy. If you guys are interested, you can sign up for the waitlist below. These are some of the main statements that people are making, and they don't even realize how these are creating their reality.
I don't have what it takes. I am not good enough. I'll never succeed. I'm always failing. I'm so stupid. I can't do it. I'm unlucky. I'm too old, young, fat, thin.
You name it.
This is just the way I am.
These are some of the most common limiting I am statements that people are making about themselves. If you say any of these, or even better, if you think any of these, you are using God force energy against yourself. You're literally using the power of speech, the power of words, the power of creation to curse yourself.
I'm so stupid.
I'm channeling what I could be using to create the most amazing life, and I literally am turning that energy in on myself, and I'm limiting myself. I'm handicapping myself, because when this is a thought and I say these things and then I repeat it so often it becomes a belief, this is gonna limit who I am, what I believe, how I show up, the things I attract in my life. Most people have multiple thoughts like this running inside them. So what that means is they are using God force energy, the creative energy of the universe. They are using the power of words to curse themselves. Once you awaken to using conscious language, you will never be the same. You will listen to people talk and you'll know exactly why their life circumstances are the way they are because of their speech. You recognize that when people are talking, they're using the creative energy to create the things that they don't want. They literally are limiting themselves. The only reason that we think and say these things is because it was mirrored to us. We saw people thinking and saying these terms and these words and these ideas, and we adopted them. If you were around someone that actually used conscious language and you never heard these things, you wouldn't repeat them. You wouldn't say them. And you'd probably have a much better life than you do now. Stay tuned. Part 2, I'm going to teach you all about how to upgrade your existing language. And what that means is we're just going to begin to replace limiting words with empowering words. And you're going to watch how it transforms your life completely. If you can just imagine spirit all around us, and through the use of your own thoughts and words, you are able to direct, to channel this spirit through you into the creation of something that you want to have, experience, be, or do. This is life-changing. Most people are walking around and then stuff's just coming out of their mouth and they don't understand why they don't have the life that they want. We've got to look at the words that we're using. We're casting spells every single time we talk, every single time we say something. Right now, I am casting spells using the words that I'm sharing with you. But if we take it a step back, what's going on in the inner dialogue? What's going on inside your mind between you and you? That's direct communication. Your thoughts influence and mold reality into form. So if you have access to anything, absolutely anything that's possible, and you know that your thoughts go in there and begin to take shape and form, and then you speak that into existence, and then you're able to hold in your hand or drive or live in or have and hold the very thing that you thought and spoke into existence. This is the power that I'm talking about. This is the power that every single human has access to. And once you understand this and put this into practice, you will be a very different person. And your life will look very different. Your life will begin to look how you want it because you understand that you had a lot more control and power than you were ever taught. You're presented with the choice of, do you continue operating the way that you have been? Do you start to up-level your self-awareness and really look and pause before you speak? Commit to only speaking things that you actually want to create, manifest, or experience. If you don't want it, don't say it. Start to pay attention to your inner dialogue. What are you saying about yourself inside of yourself? What are you saying about other people? That's going to give you a huge clue into what you think about yourself. What we tend to do is project out onto other people things that we feel about ourselves. You are beautiful, and you deserve to have a beautiful life full of goodness and grace, compassion, and love. And if you can really understand that, if you can begin to manage your thoughts, you begin to shift your inner dialogue and outer speech, you can create the life that you desire. And I'm here to walk alongside you for the whole path. I'm so glad you're here.